Give me a moment here. Hey, we're live. Look at that. Nice little Saturday, February 22nd. Thank you guys for tuning in. What's up, YouTube? An amazing Saturday. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. We're going to talk a little bit more about what happened in crypto in the last week. It's been absolutely unhinged overall. So thank you guys for tuning in to the fun, and hopefully we are through the worst of it all. But we're going to talk about that a little bit more here going forward. We're going to talk a little bit about coin ETFs. We're going to talk a little bit about some meme coin plays, and I'm going to share with you guys a little bit on how to learn to trade, a little bit on the fundamentals of trading, where I learned how to trade, and then hopefully as we get more people into these streams, maybe we'll even do a giveaway. But we'll see how it goes. I'm just going to invite a few more to the chat today. But if you have any questions or there's something that you want to share with what's going on today, yeah, I'd love to talk a little bit more about it with you guys. So we're just going to shift a little bit more here. Nope. There we go. Fix that on that. Yeah, so Saturday overall, obviously this week was pretty huge. We did start to see the market recover, obviously, on Friday, and then that Bybit hack really messed with things. So if I guess first question out to anyone, was anyone affected with that Bybit hack? Does anyone have some exposure on Bybit? How did that go for you guys? Was it positive overall? Not affected? What happened? I'd love to hear from you guys or how it sort of affected you, or is it going to impact you going forward? Are you ever going to put anything on Bybit, or if you had things on Bybit and took it off, are you going to get back on the exchange, or does that really change how you feel about exchanges going forward? Because they've been, I mean, at the end of the day, nowhere is immune to a hack. So knowing that and protecting yourself in terms of security going forward is really important. Uh, here. Go, go. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, I'd love to hear from you overall. If you don't have any questions, I'm just going to spout off a whole bunch of stuff that I had planned for today. And thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll go in with it. So, obviously, we're going to talk about the fear and greed index because I think that's really important overall. I've got up on the screen a little bit about Bitcoin ETF inflows. We'll talk about that Bybit hack as well. Maybe some trends with some meme coins hitting up as well. Got a few that we'll talk about today, but really informal Saturday. Thank you guys for taking 2 minutes and tuning in to today's live stream. So right off the bat, I mean, let's actually go over to the fear and greed index because I think that is probably the most important point we want to talk about right off the bat. So X, if you guys aren't obviously seeing any of the graphics and charts here, head on over to follow me up on YouTube. It's youtube.com/ my first and last name. So that's youtube.com/ Daniel Lintz. And then follow on up to see some of the charts for today and what we're talking about overall. So first of all, the fear and greed index, we're sitting at a neutral 49 overall. So with that, I mean, you look at yesterday, we started to roll into a little bit of the greed side of it. Last month, we were really in the greed aspect of it in terms of 75. So when you look at a month ago, I mean, the markets were a little rocky into the start of the year, but we did see some recovery overall. And then crypto did its thing, and we've been seeing the charts get pretty nuked overall. So hopefully we can see that recovery we were at in November, and I think there's lots of potential that we can see that recovery overall happen. It's just going on. So let's try that up here. This would be a heck of a lot easier to move around. There we go. There we go. So we talked about fear and greed index. I think that's really important overall. Um, Bitcoin this last week actually saw a record of $2.4 billion in inflows. Um, as we're looking at a market crash, if a few people are um, taking it as seriously as it is. But market crash, and we're sitting within a few $1,000s of that key 100K level with Bitcoin. Obviously, memes have been absolutely rinsed out, but we should see a recovery with that going into the end of Q1, Q2, Q3 of 2025, and we'll see how that plays out. But going back to Bitcoin, Bitcoin last week recorded its largest inflow of their ETF. So when we look at that in terms of bullish news, I would say seeing more coming into the mainstream or retail getting involved with Bitcoin, I think is really important. When you look at retail and mainstream's involvement with investing, their long-term approaches. So anyone going into a Bitcoin ETF is a very, very long-term trader. So when we're looking at bullish news in terms of mainstream adoption and more people getting involved in crypto, I think that's really important overall. So do you guys have anything else to contribute with obviously Bitcoin seeing a record in terms of ETF inflows? Let me know. The Ethereum ETF inflows have been pretty stagnant overall, but seeing obviously Bitcoin and the influence overall, it's incredibly bullish and positive news. Obviously, considering what happened in the market this week and the choppiness that we've been seeing, I think that's really positive news overall that we're seeing within the market. So I'm really optimistic with 2025 here and seeing the price action on Bitcoin obviously within 100K, a few $1,000s of 100K, I think is really important. So, yeah, I'm really bullish on what we're seeing ahead, and I'm really optimistic that this is going to be the biggest bull run of our lives ahead. So, obviously, fear and greed index. Personally, I think it's a lot more fearful than that 49 or that neutral level. Looking at the way people are reacting on crypto Twitter and the overall sentiment of the market, I would say the fear and greed index is probably more in like the 30 range or lower. But we'll see how this goes. We'll see how things play out in the next few weeks. But I'm rather greedy overall, and I think that people who are in this market and position themselves appropriately, would agree with the uncertainty side of it as opposed to the fear side of it. So if you're overly fearful with what's going on in the market, you may want to check your trading strategy, your approach, and just make sure you're in the right um, you're in the right lane for what your risk tolerance is overall. So I hope that music's not too loud. Just wanted a little bit of tunes overall. So what else can we sort of talk about? Obviously, the Bybit hack that went through, so that's $1.5 billion within the Bybit hack. So with that, let's actually do this up because I wrote a little post on that, and I think that's really important to share overall. You can see my face. But I was talking about this morning. Obviously, with the Bybit hack, I just want to bring this up a little bit more. I think when we're looking at security overall, it's really often overlooked. And, um, the Bybit hack is obviously the largest in history. And obviously, they did use a very sophisticated method for ensuring that this vulnerability was exposed. But for individual investors, I don't think there's as much worry overall going forward. But this incident, and I did write this up on my Twitter and talking about this, does serve as a pretty big reminder of obviously the importance of personal security measures. So seeing Bybit get hacked, I don't think any other exchange is immune to it, and I don't think any other individual is immune to it. But when we're looking at that, obviously utilizing hardware wallets, store the majority of your assets in cold storage wallets, obviously which are offline and not as susceptible to hacks. If you guys do comment below on this stream or in my post, I do have sort of a workaround way and a very easy way, in my opinion, that's a better option than a hardware wallet. So if you want to hear about that, comment below, and I'm happy to share that with you. Or let's hop on the DMs and talk about it a little bit further. And I should probably do a video on that in the future as well. But uh, enabling two-factor authentication, not enough people do this as well. Whether that be adding your Touch ID onto your laptop, or maybe you need to utilize your phone Face ID to work with a laptop transaction. So regularly updating your passwords, although it seems very um, trivial and basic. Not enough people do this. And what I've seen in helping onboard people with crypto over the last little bit, so many people have the exact same password for so many other things. So just be so aware of that. Don't have the same password for everything. Use a password manager, use a passkey, use a lot of those ways that you're going to make sure that your password is secure because not enough people do this overall. Uh, Phishing attempts, I think, is really key overall. Everyone's trying to get at your keys. Everyone's trying to get at your funds overall. So be very wary of this. If it doesn't seem authentic or it seems too good to be true, I'm pretty sure overall that is the case. But just be wary of that overall. Be vigilant overall and protect yourself because um, everyone's obviously trying to hack and scam and get at you because when we look at um, electronic security and online security, we're not as vigilant about it as we think we are. And then the biggest one of it is stay informed. Keep yourself informed about any latest security practices, any updates from any platforms that you're using. So if you're aware of any platforms like X getting a hack on it, obviously change your passwords, but be aware of that. And I did post an article here as well, um, knowing obviously I took my sources from the Bybit businessinsider.com breakdown. Um, so with that, if you want to read a little bit more about it on that crypto hack, I've got it linked here on my X profile. So yeah, going forward, just really look at what exchanges have robust protocols in terms of keeping people safe. I think that's really crucial as obviously we're going with more mainstream adoption and we're seeing more potential problems through security overall. So I think that's really important. And I've seen from so many people messaging me about their wallets getting rinsed from airdrops, their wallet getting hacked, someone gave up their private keys by accident. Like all of these things, just prepare yourself overall because the mainstream move towards adoption of digital currency is going to happen. And making sure that you're aware of all those potential pitfalls, I think, is really important overall. Um, I want to talk briefly about Coinbase and the SEC case. So, Brian Armstrong posted a massive tweet about this, and I think this is really, really good. I love this meme overall. So, Coinbase here, which rules did you break? And then the SEC here saying, which rules do you think you broke? I think that that is really, really funny overall to shine a light into it. Um, I won't go too much into this, but the TLDR of it is after years of litigation, millions of taxpayer dollars, the irreparable harm that the country reached an agreement with the SEC staff, so that's between Coinbase and within the SEC, um, to dismiss the litigation against Coinbase. So once approved by the commission, there would be a full dismissal, zero fines paid, and zero changes to the business operation. If you look at Coinbase overall, I think they're really, um, diligent about protecting security and protecting the best interests of the customer, knowing their risk levels, and obviously protecting the best interests of the business operations. I don't think Coinbase is doing anything nefarious or anything on the wrong side of the law, but obviously, as you can see, this is a very, very long-winded post, and I think this is really important at the end of the day that they're going to continue working productively and proactively with the SEC on a number of items going forward. And as we look at mainstream adoption, probably really important overall. So if you want to read at this, I think this is a good read overall to understand where the SEC and where Coinbase were in terms of their not being on the same level, but where they were able to communicate and actually get onto the same level and show the SEC that this was pretty much a nothing burger overall. So, um, yeah, that was really, I mean, interesting overall when we're looking at Coinbase and the SEC, looking at Bybit Hack. I think those are the two big things that we saw for this year, or sorry, this week. And obviously, Bitcoin having the record ETF inflows, I think, is another bullish case going forward for this program. Maybe we'll talk about some meme coins. If you were involved in any of those pump and dumps and scams over the last little bit with Libra or with CAF token, you know that there's a whole bunch of pump and dumps within the Solana ecosystem, if you will. We're seeing even more pump dumps with orchestrated people within politics and within um, the Portnoy's realm of things. So I think there's a lot in terms of we're going to see a crossroads pretty soon, and we're going to see things hopefully change for the better overall. Okay, coffee's coming to an end here, but let's talk about meme coins. Um, I don't have any specific ones in terms of things I want to talk about. When you're looking at meme coins, you see visual overall. Do your own research. Best to like connect with the meme coin projects as much as possible. For myself, being a massive control freak, I ended up launching my own token, and I'm admin on another token as well. So for me, it was a way to learn on the fly and get aligned with a lot of these meme coin potentials, but also to understand on the back end what's going on overall. So I think it's really important. But if you guys are here on X and you're not over on YouTube yet, I'd encourage you to hop on over to YouTube. It's youtube.com/DanielInce and subscribe on up. We're going to talk about three main coins here going forward and go through the charts in a moment. So, first one obviously is Altoro, and that is my meme coin project that is backed with utility that I launched in November. So we are sitting at a 130K market cap. Obviously, we saw market cap rise over a 500K market cap in January. So just over a month ago, we saw all-time highs within this project. It is a utility-backed meme coin. So the purpose of this is tokenizing my brand going forward. And my brand is I've been running a social media agency for years. So we're looking at content creation, we're looking at marketing, advertising within the Web3 space. That's what this project does. Excited to announce as well that we closed a major sponsorship with Blockchain Paris. They have sent me all the graphics for El Toro and Blockchain Paris. So you will actually see a whole bunch of advertising going forward with that, and pretty big news overall with landing that sponsorship. So pretty excited with that. And you will see El Toro at Blockchain Paris in April. That's April 8th, 9th, 10th for Blockchain Week in Paris. So really excited about that, and there'll definitely be more to come. Ideally, we're going to have like an interview area set up where we can interview attendees, sort of get their own feedback of Blockchain Paris. And then also, ideally, if it all works out, we're going to be able to interview some speakers as well, get sort of their kind of feedback of their discussions, and maybe we can uncover a little bit more with that. So I'm really excited about it. Obviously, I would love to see chart go up only, but I know as a developer and as someone who is building some of the fundamentals within our token, I've seen some of the gaps in the foundation with it, and yeah, chart will go up exponentially real soon. But right now, this has given me time to sort of take a step back, work on some of the fundamentals that I need to, build in a lot more of the foundation that I need to for this project. And ultimately, it keeps me incredibly bullish ahead because knowing that obviously the chart was 4x up from here, and knowing that we can get back there pretty darn quick and work beyond that keeps me incredibly bullish overall. So that's El Toro. If you guys have any questions for it, feel free to hit me up anytime. I'm happy to talk to you. We're on X. The handle is Toro_on_soul, or you can search the ticker, which is El Toro. So super simple overall. If you guys have questions or you want to check out my meme coin project, obviously it's on Phantom Swap. It's super easy to get exposure to it. And if you're not sure if it's the right project that you want to back, feel free to reach out to me. We'll have a discussion. Always happy to do that. I actually have someone that hopping on this afternoon. No, tomorrow on the 23rd to chat a little bit about it. He's got just a little bit of exposure to it, and through discussion, I'm sure potentially a little bit more, or based on how bullish he is, maybe he's just going to keep in and buy a whole lot. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. But if anyone ever has any questions on my meme coin project or any meme coin projects in particular, I love to have discussions around it. Obviously, as long as they're uh, positive overall and they're um, proactive and productive, I'm happy to entertain it. So one of the questions actually came through in the chat on YouTube. So thanks, Ty. You're my one follower, I think, on YouTube. So that's amazing. Ty said, "Is Microsoft's new quantum chip going to have any effect on the crypto world?" Um, I don't know, man. Likely speaking, yes. I'm not well versed on the quantum chip from Microsoft, but let's see what Microsoft is saying here if you look this up. Microsoft chip. Let's look into this. So those of you on X, we're talking about Microsoft's Majorana one chip, new path to quantum computing. So Microsoft today announced its new chip in the world's first quantum chip powering a new topological core architecture that it expects will realize quantum computers capable of solving meaningful industrial scale problems in years, not decades. So when we're looking at that, oh, we lose this already? Nah, we're good. We're good. So just some technical issues with YouTube. So with looking at this, obviously they're looking at capable of solving industrial scale problems in years, not decades. Um, yeah, Ty, I think it is. When we look at anything crypto related, we're pushing the technology with um, we're pushing forward with technology. So when we're looking at a new quantum chip, I can't see why it wouldn't be impactful in the crypto space. I know that Ethereum has obviously taken a lot of hits over the last little bit, and where I'm going at this, I can really see Ethereum and, for example, Microsoft partnering up going forward to really look at commercial and enterprise level adoption within crypto. So, long story short, I don't really know, Ty, but great question. And those of you on X that want to learn a little bit more about it, type in Microsoft and new quantum chip as well. So I think that's really neat going forward. And thank you for the question. One more came through on Twitter, or sorry, on YouTube Live. So with how the markets are moving right now, what's the best play for someone with $500 in cash? It really depends on your risk level and your experience level overall. But good question overall when you're looking at $500 in cash. Realistically speaking, for 98% of the people that are looking to get exposure to crypto, I definitely recommend probably just Bitcoin to start with. Although it's not as glamorous, you're probably not going to 20 or 30x. It really is based on your exposure in crypto and your understanding of crypto. Some that maybe are day traders and scalpers take that $500 cash and put it in a futures account and turn it into a fat bag going forward. So it really depends on your risk level, your experience level, and really depends on where your understanding of crypto is. For me, if I had $500 cash, I'd probably put it, to be honest, all in a futures account and trade with it, just because of my own experience with that. And that's going to be one of the things we're going to talk about today to wrap up. But if you are interested in how to trade overall and learn how to turn the crypto market into your own ATM, invariably as you learn how to understand charting and understand the market, um, we'll talk about how you can do that going forward. But if you have $500 cash, going back to this, I'd probably just put it on Bitcoin. Maybe get a little bit of exposure to Solana and Sui as well, because the potential is there with those crypto tokens. Just realize that anything that you're getting involved with, there is a chance of loss. You need to understand your risk overall, and just realize that what I'm talking about here is for entertainment purposes only, and never financial advice. So it really depends on where you're at, but if you have $500 cash and you're looking at this as a long-term asset and you can see growth within it, just put in Bitcoin and just chill. If you want to get more exposure on a higher level, maybe you're going to get more exposure down the risk curve, Solana or Sui, or maybe you're going to take that $100, put it into crypto school, take the other $400, put it into Bitcoin, and then learn how to trade the market and scalp trade and day trade overall. That's something that I would recommend. But really good question overall, and I don't know the answer to that. Long story short, but it really depends on who you are and where you're at. So we talked about El Toro. Let's talk about Goku too. So Goku is another token that I'm an admin on. Maybe you want to throw $500 just in El Toro and Goku. Not financial advice. Do your own research overall, but when you're looking at something like Goku, uh, we started this token on we took this token from Pump Fund on a bonding curve over to DEX end of October. Obviously, we hit market cap highs of $32 million market cap. We're sitting nicely just under a $10 million market cap right now. Considering all the pullback over the last little bit, we've got a really healthy chart. We've got very little sell pressure. When we're looking at, the Dragon Ball Z saying on Solana, which is the handle on X, and the culture within Dragon Ball Z and with Goku, uh, I'd argue that it's probably something that more people resonate with Goku and Dragon Ball Z than they do with any other meme coin out there, like Pepe, like Brett, like anything else, just because the the cult following that Goku built over the last entire generation. I know my brother, shout out to him. He's seen every episode twice. Like we've had literal fights because of Goku back in the day. So I know that the amount of people that have an affinity with Goku is probably more than almost any other meme combined. So through our research and establishing this token, um, we found out that roughly in this world, 300 to 400 million people have an association or an understanding or an affinity with Goku overall and Dragon Ball Z. So when you're looking at a narrative and you're looking at a meta overall, something like that may be interesting overall versus like I don't know, a flog token, Pepe, Klaus, anything else. So yeah, I I'm trying not to shill. I'm just trying to share. But if you have any questions regarding Goku or El Toro or any other memes, hit me up. I'm always um, keen for a proactive and productive discussion around meme coins because personally, I've seen it involved in culture for the last almost 40 years. And I know that meme coins likely will replace a lot of utility coins going forward. So I'm incredibly bullish on meme coins. I'm obviously involved pretty deeply in meme coins. So if you have any questions or you want to talk about it, hit me up. We'll talk about one more, and I think that's going to be Brett. Maybe we'll talk about what's coming up this week ahead And then later today, hoping to hop on another live stream, whether it be on X or YouTube, or we figure out something else with a friend that actually I met him at the Real Vision Crypto Gathering um, last month in Miami, and young guy, been doing crypto for 7 years now, and he's only 20 or 21. So, uh, what were you doing at 13? Were you investing in crypto? Probably not. So he's got a lot of amazing things to say. He's mega bullish on gaming, and we're going to pop on and have a discussion in a little bit today. So if you have any questions for myself or for Aiden, pop it in the comments below, pop it on YouTube Live, and obviously if people are answering or people are asking questions on YouTube Live, it seems like the audio is working this time, which was a challenge in the last few uploads. So um, let's talk about Brett here. I've got a few lines marked out here on the chart. So those of you on X who are not seeing this, Brett meme coin is on base. So we're sitting at a $518 million market cap overall, and or 513, 518, somewhere like that, 520. I marked out a few levels here, just sort of based on the resistance levels that we've been seeing with Brett and potential entry points that you may want to look at. So obviously, with it dropping down here into a $380 million market cap, last time it was there. When was this? Last time it was here. Can we move that? Yeah, last time it was this low was May of 2024. So a tremendous opportunity here with the Brett token. So all-time highs of over 2 billion, almost 2.3 billion dollars. When you look at a token that hasn't even been listed yet on Coinbase, and whether you want to argue it or not, could be potentially the mascot of the base chain and of Coinbase, just based on what they've been doing for Easter eggs in some of their advertising. Personally, I really think Brett is going to be massive. So with a $500 million market cap and some key levels that I marked out, some key resistance levels here, obviously just below a $900 million market cap would be key. Uh, if and when Brett breaks that $1 billion market cap again, 1.1 is that key level as well, 1.5 as well, and obviously the sell pressure at the all-time high. So Brett is another meme coin that I'm incredibly bullish on, just because I see the potential there. I've been seeing what Coinbase has been doing with all the Easter eggs, and not financial advice, but I think this is going to be one of the biggest tokens out there. So um, we talked about obviously the hack. We talked about the Fear and Greed Index. We talked about Bitcoin in terms of the ETFs, Coinbase, and the SEC. We talked about a lot today. Had a few questions come in from YouTube, which is amazing. Thank you, my YouTubers. So obviously, as we look ahead, we're going to look at what smart money is doing overall. We can see smart money accumulating big time within Ethereum and within a few of the other chains. So watch what smart money's doing. Don't listen to what Joe, who has $406 in his account, is talking about on Reddit, and just be as vigilant as possible overall. Um, ahead. Obviously, as we go into March, next FOMC meeting is not until March 18th and 19th, and we don't see any CPI data until March 12th, and that would be February's CPI data. So we now have a few couple weeks. Hopefully, we don't see too much FUD going on, but a lot of positive things happening in the market going forward. So I'm incredibly optimistic on what we're going to see coming up. Any potential catalysts to watch overall? Obviously, um, what we've seen with crypto is crypto will catch people off guard. Look at the Trump token. Look at obviously Bybit getting hacked. We know that crypto is going to catch people off guard. So um, I wouldn't be maybe getting too many positions with this market pullback, but there could be so many factors that we look at that really could, be a driving catalyst moving forward. What that is, I don't know, but um, obviously a strategic Bitcoin reserve would be a big one. Maybe we see a Solana ETF, maybe we see a meme coin ETF. Things like that can pop out of nowhere and really, really, send the markets up. Or as we saw on Friday, we really started to see the markets recover pretty fast. And then obviously with Bybit getting hacked and that FUD happening, that really changed things pretty quick going into this weekend. So things happen in crypto and move so fast. If you notice any narratives gaining steam, you may want to front run yourself and position yourself accordingly. But I really think that that's it overall. What to watch for next? Uh, watch El Toro as a token overall. We're going to climb back to all-time highs, and I'm pretty obviously bullish with what we've done in this token so far and what we plan on doing with it going forward. For Goku, really would like to reclaim that $10 million market cap level. But I mean, as we know with the Saiyan army, we're more focused on building a cult following rather than what the market cap is saying. So seeing that we are still just under 5,500 holders, I think for a token of this size is incredibly bullish going forward. So um, obviously pushing to that $10 million key psychological level overall, we should have some sell pressure happening at some key sort of levels around the $15 million market cap and obviously $20 million market cap. But I'm incredibly bullish on it. And likely speaking, as Solana recovers here, recovers around that $200 level and above that $200 level. I mean, just over a month ago, it was at all-time highs, pushing on $300. So we know how quick things can change in the market. So just be patient with what's going on, be vigilant, be as secure as possible, protect yourself in terms of security, don't leave too much stuff on chain. Now I feel like I'm rambling, so I think let's end this stream for Saturday, February 22nd. If you have more questions that you want me to entertain, obviously pop it in the YouTube live stream. Hit me up with questions anytime on X. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll actually see you guys in another upload later today. So let's sign off from YouTube here. We're going to end the stream. See you later, YouTube, and X as well. We'll see you guys.